has moved from the USA to Australia. What were their reasons? Let's find out what people on Quora think. Cliff Meyer left the US 12 years ago to make a better life for his daughter. Looking back at the current happenings of my own hometown Midwestern school outside of St. Louis, I'm very happy my daughter doesn't go there. Here in Australia, we feel much safer. I like that it is not necessary to keep her aware that someone could walk into her school and start shooting. Whereas in US, it happens somewhere almost every single day. I remember how many people I've known before the move would talk about hating their job and wishing to quit, but they just couldn't give up their family's insurance. Same as switching from a mega corporation to a small startup. How great that here in Australia, people enabled to start new ventures that creates new jobs, including their own. Working people who do not make much get assistance. While in US, the culture is that you deserve what you get. And if you don't get much, it's because you don't deserve much. If you're sick and can't pay your bills, and health insurance can easily end up on the streets. I've seen a lot of that in cities I've lived in. St. Louis, Houston, Memphis, even very successful US cities experience this at some degree. That kind of visible misery doesn't really exist in major Australian cities. Not like I've been used to. In a city of almost 5 million, there really isn't anywhere else in Melbourne I'd feel uncomfortable walking around. Lawrence Stiles commented. Currently in the USA, we're becoming more enslaved in workforce. Companies hiring at just below full-time to avoid to offer insurance. The reason is that America has real capitalism, so everything is tied to money and greed, not to humanity. And many people think that being human is being communist. No comment. David Short moved to New Zealand in the 90s. After becoming completely over with America and its whole system degradation from top to bottom. I could have moved back and made another go at it, but really it wasn't worth it. Life is truly good on this part of the world. Yes, I can't own and carry a gun easily, and I kind of miss shooting, but that's just very superficial. And it's been replaced by the true freedom of life I feel here. I'm absolutely sure I could never move back to the States. And the final word is from Forrest Starr, who has moved to Australia for a relationship that would have been impossible in the USA. My partner is a permanent resident of Australia. If she would have come to US, wouldn't be able to work, paying outrageous health insurance premiums, waiting for a green card. So after moving to Australia and applying for a de facto relationship visa, essentially the marriage visa, I was able to work if I wanted to. Had the universal Medicare all Australians have and just needed to apply for a permanent residency. Minimum wage is $24 per hour. People get a month vacation and those less fortunate get a government subsidy. There is much less poverty and nowhere near the wealth inequality that's so persistent in the US. And Australians are horrified that Americans believe that more guns is the answer for more gun violence. I found Australians more knowledgeable in general than an average American. Australians also don't understand how evangelicals had so much sway in politics.
The evangelical movement in Australia is close to non-existent. They are used by the politics and ridiculous QAnon of other conspiracy nonsense that people engage in.
I guess, generally speaking, Australia is more humane and sensible culture. The US could learn a lot from how the average citizen lives here. And so that was just a few thoughts and personal experiences of people from Quora. Let us know if you agree or disagree in the comments below, and I'm gonna see you next week.
And don't forget to subscribe to my